Welcome to Navigating Perception and Reality. I'm Aaliyah Bordeaux, and here we're getting real about how the world shapes the way we see ourselves and how we shape it right back. Through personal stories, interviews, and self-commentary, this podcast will be covering a variety of different topics. So as we dive into this episode, I leave you with one question. Are you living your reality or someone else's perception of it? Let's get started. Hello everyone, welcome to the next episode of Navigating Perception and Reality. My name is Aaliyah Bordeaux, I'm your host, and I have another special guest here with me today. I'm not going to talk too long, we're going to dive right into it. So I'm going to let her introduce herself. So can you tell us a little bit about yourself, your background, just who you are?
Absolutely. Well, hi everyone. My name is Asia Moore to be exact. I am originally from Dallas, Texas. I've been here my entire life. I love Texas, right? I'm currently an educator. I teach seventh grade English Language Arts and Reading, so ELAR. And I'm also Miss Bluebonnet as well. So, we're competing
Yes,
into
yes,
this
y'all.
Texas pageant.
Yes, we know each other through the Miss Texas organization, so it's amazing that we're here today. This is part of my community service initiative, and so yeah, but this is not about me. This is about you, and we're gonna be get right into it. Okay, so how does the word purpose? What does the word purpose mean to you?
Yes. So the word purpose, I it means to me it means like your calling in life. What you are on earth to do and on earth to accomplish. Your purpose typically I feel like is tied to your own personal story and your own life experiences. And so it is the thing that comes most natural to you. So, uh,
Yeah, most definitely. Thank you. I love purpose. Like when I get that question, I hope I get that question in an interview. Like purpose,
look,
yes, purpose. I can talk about
yeah,
that all day long.
that part.
Like, yes. So, have you always felt clear like about your purpose, about your calling, or has it been kind of diverse over time? Discovered, or have you discovered it over time? Excuse me.
Yeah, so I definitely do feel like it's something that I've discovered over time. Just growing within myself, getting to know myself a little bit more, and understanding my passions and desires. But I do feel like once I finally did come to this point in my life where I'm like, okay, I feel like I know my purpose, I realized that, oh, it's always been a part of my life. I've always been passionate about mentorship. I've always been passionate about pouring into the youth in the next generation as well. And I've always been passionate about just helping people grow in their self esteem and self love. And so I guess in hindsight, I feel like it's always been there, but it was definitely a process and a learning thing.
Yes, that is amazing. Thank you so much. What are some societal expectations that you have had to face that have kind of been a struggle growing up and that you've overcome?
Yeah, so I definitely feel like trying to have it all together is a societal pressure that we often face. We have social media that tries to tell us that, oh, by 19 or 18 or even 25, right, that we have to be at a certain point in life when that's just not reality. Outside of that, I would even say along the lines of the standards of beauty, right, or the kind of life that you're supposed to have. I feel like the social media and just even the media industry in general. I do feel like that we haven't done a very great job in just showing the rawness and the reality of life, because then it feels like that what people are going through is either not normal or it's not perfect when it was never meant to be perfect, right?
Yes.
There's messiness in the journey. There's messiness in getting to whatever destination that you have to get to. So that's something that I personally faced growing up. Hmm.
Most definitely. Me too. I feel like social media is a great tool. It is a great place to communicate. It's a great place to market, connect.
Yeah. Yes.
But there's that perception and reality part of it. You're seeing this perfect image of different people, and
Hmm.
a lot of the times it's not even right, or it's just
Right.
something super glorified. And
Yeah.
so I think it's just really important that we educate ourselves and we continue to pour into
Hmm.
ourselves because, baby, social
Absolutely.
media will take over. It
Man.
will
Oh,
definitely take over.
yes, it will.
Yes. All right. So, who or what has helped you stay grounded in your own sense of purpose?
Wow, this is a really great question. So I would definitely say, like my mom. My mom has been a great voice of reasoning for me. I feel like I've had the opportunity and have been blessed enough to have a mom where I can go to her about the just like the rawness of like what I'm thinking, what I'm going through, etc. I would also say my mentor as well, right? I have a mentor who has walked with me since I was 17 years old, and so being able to have her by my side and navigating through life and just making different transitions in life. I have so many career transitions, trying to figure out my major in college, right? Just all of these like these crucial milestones, I guess I would say. But just having their support system has been a huge help in just keeping me grounded and getting me to where I am right now. So, hmm
Yes, yes. My mom is always there for me. Okay, don't get me wrong. Me and my mom, we get into it sometimes. But who doesn't?
look,
Like,
that's
she
natural,
tries to
right?
tell me what to do. I'm like,
That's
Mom,
it.
stop. But yeah, no, I'm so glad. Like, we're blessed to like have our mom in our life and just be that
Yeah.
guidance.
hmm
And so yeah, that's definitely a blessing. Why do you think it is so easy to confuse society's expectations with our own dreams?
Mm. I feel like that comes from, I feel like you don't know what you don't know, and you
Mm,
only know what you see.
okay.
And so if we're growing up and we don't have a specific example in front of us and we're looking to our favorite celebrities or we're looking to the media for guidance, then we're going to think that that is the standard. We're going to think that that is the reality and that is the truth, right? But I feel like at some point of our lives we have to, at least I know that's what I had to do. I had to come to a point to where I'm like, okay, I keep trying to meet society's expectations and standards, but I keep falling, and it's actually hurting my self esteem. And so I feel like I had to get to a place within myself to just say like, okay, Asia, like, who are you? What do you want in life? What is success to you?
Mm,
Right?
mm-hmm.
Because at the end of the day, like we live in a society that's constantly changing, right? We live in a society like we see it through fashion. At first, low bell bottoms was in, and then it wasn't in, and now it's in again, right? So like we
Yes.
live in such a I say unstable society in the aspect of like we're constantly changing our mind about what's the standard. And
Mm-hmm.
so you have to figure out what is the standard to you. What kind of life do
Yes.
you envision for yourself? What kind of values and beliefs do you have for yourself and do you want to abide by and stand on? So
Yes, most definitely. I 100% agree. I remember every time I remember this is like high school and I bought
mhm.
some bell bottoms and my mom was like, "What is that? Hold on, what are you wearing?" I'm like, "Mom, what do
Yeah,
you mean? This is cute." She was like, "Girl, you don't know nothing about that." I'm like, "Oh." Well,
right.
yes. Have you ever felt pressured to choose a certain path because it looked more successful than what others
Mhm.
say? Yeah.
I definitely have felt pressured. I faced that a lot in college with trying to choose my major. I initially started off as a kinesiology major because I was like, well, I'm going to be a physical therapist. And honestly, I was not passionate about the medical field. I wasn't passionate about physical therapy at all. The only reason why I chose that was because I seen that path as something that would lead me to having a successful life, whether that's getting a good paying job, right?
Mm-hmm.
Being like, getting connected with like great people and things like
Mm-hmm.
that. But it wasn't what I was passionate about. So I ended up changing my major to communications the second semester of my sophomore year. And when I tell you it was the scariest thing ever, because I'm like, communications is not a direct path. Like you can
Mm-hmm.
you can go a whole like
Mm-hmm.
so many different ways with communication. And so it really really took a lot of faith like stepping out on that and just going to what I felt like came most natural for me. Yes, I love public speaking. I want to be a public speaker, but we gotta work our way up to that, right?
Yes.
Have a steady income, right? And so, but yeah, I would definitely say that just, they say to go to college and get a degree in what's going to make you money, right?
Mhm.
But I
Mhm.
do believe that yes, have a plan, go to what's going to make you money, but also go to what feels most natural to you because it's in that natural aspect that you actually thrive. So,
Most definitely. I
mhm.
completely agree. I am basically about to be a senior. We're at the
Mhm.
end of my junior year for my bachelor's degree. And let me tell you, as many times as I've been in contact with my advisors, like, help me, I don't know what I'm doing,
Yeah.
like, please.
Mhm.
And so, college, it's definitely an experience, but
Mhm.
I always like to say, and like this is gonna be like for who I mentor who's coming into college, like
Yeah.
you do not have to have everything figured out. For
Mm-mm.
real. Like
No.
college, it's a place to be, but
Mhm.
life is still life and after college. You can still figure it out after you
Exactly.
graduate.
I know that's
Literally.
right.
Yes.
Yes.
Alright. So, how do you deal with people's opinions or judgment when your choices don't fit their expectations?
Mm. So sometimes it can be hard to stand by yourself. It
Mhm.
really can be. It can be hard to stand by yourself, especially for people who are like more so like people pleasers. I have like
Mm,
dealt with that my own self,
mhm.
with just wanting to please people and things like that. But I have found a really great reward and a sense of peace in just choosing what I believe in and just sticking to it.
Yeah.
As far as like how do I navigate that, a lot of like self talk, having to talk to myself in third person. That's just like a practical thing to say, like Asia, like trust yourself. Asia, you're wise and you know how to make the right decisions, and despite of what other people may think. Or Asia, you may see the vision right now and other people may see it later, and that's okay. And even if you do make a mistake, like you're not a failure, you're just learning and you're human. So definitely having to give myself a lot of prep talks
Yes.
as well. So
No, I definitely get that. Thank you. All right,
yeah.
so can you share a moment? Oh yeah. Can you share a moment when you realized perception wasn't matching your personal truth? So like outside voices were just like telling you to do something or maybe even internalized perception like how you felt about yourself which is not
Mhm.
aligning. Like
Yeah,
mhm.
definitely. I want to say I faced it a lot, maybe in high school. I feel like that's probably where like I faced the most pressure, and maybe a little bit in college too. But so sometimes there can be this pressure of like trying to have it all together,
Mm.
right? When in all actuality, like you're like I'm struggling on the inside, like I need help me now.
Yeah.
And so yeah, so I definitely had this pressure of like, oh, I have to be perfect in order to be liked, accepted, loved. I'm like, oh, like if people see the rawness and like, they may like kind of dip a little bit. But yeah, I would definitely say that. Like I feel like I tried to just be happy all the time, even when I was feeling sad and stuff. Yeah, when I really needed a hug, right? And I could
Yes.
have depended on people, but I
Yes, I think especially in high school when we're still in that developmental stage. I mean, we're still developing our
Mhm.
entire life, but I feel like high school is definitely that pivotal point. It's kind of
Yeah,
hard to reach out for help.
yeah,
Like
it
maybe
is.
sometimes we just need to go talk to somebody, but
Yeah.
we feel like we're grown. We're like, yeah, I'm in high
Mhm.
school. Like I know what I'm
I
doing, you
got it.
know?
Uh-huh.
Yes. So I think definitely we need to start, I don't even know. I think it's mentorship, but I also think just having real conversations with high school students like,
Real
hey,
conversations is it.
you are okay. Oh, well, you might not be
Mhm.
okay, but you are, and it's
Yeah,
okay to talk to someone. You know what I mean?
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. What advice would you give someone who's struggling with what their life should look like when they're struggling with, hey, I want to look this way, but I don't know. Like they're just kind of going through that imposter syndrome almost.
hmm Yeah. So I think I would ask them like, what's so bad about your life that you think it's not perfect?
Mhm.
Like, what aspect of your life are you saying is not the way that you're wanting it to be portrayed as?
Mhm.
And then
Mhm.
I would also um, ask them, um, is there a part of your story that you're ashamed of, that you
Mhm.
think is not usable, that you think is not perfect? Because I do believe that I know that I'm not saying that everything in our life happens for a reason, right? Because I do believe some things can be prevented, right? If we just make wiser decisions. But what I do wholeheartedly believe is that everything will work together for our good, though. That's what I
Mm.
do believe. And I do believe that if we choose to, that we can use certain parts of our story and use it to our advantage to help us to make it stronger. And so I would really just challenge the thought process and the perspective of that person who is not wanting to face the reality. Because if you're wanting to to be portrayed as something else, or if you want your life to look a certain way, you're probably running away from a deeper issue.
Mm, that's
Mm.
good. That's a word.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, yeah.
How do you handle moments of doubt and comparison?
Mm. This is so good. Yeah. So as far as how I handle it, 'cause it still comes up every now and then, right? Because we're human. But I feel like it goes back to me talking in third person.
Hey,
Talking in third person, having to
consistency.
that's it. Like,
Hmm.
because I feel like it's a thought process that you constantly have to attack, right? You have to
Yes.
combat the lies with actual truth and
Hmm.
stuff. And so definitely talking to myself in third person, journaling, and just even having a friend or like my mentor, even my mom, just to kind of speak life into whatever area that I am comparing myself in or even doubting myself into, because I do believe that sometimes it takes that outside voice to kind of
Hmm.
snap you back into it,
Hmm.
But so yeah, outside of doing the practical steps for me, I definitely say leaning to my community that can actually pour and speak life into me. Hmm.
Yes, that is
Yeah.
amazing. Community is everything, especially
Yes.
when you have a village. Yes. How do you balance your responsibilities and challenges? So,
Mm.
what you got going on? How do you balance that?
Yeah. I feel like me being an educator has helped with that a lot
Mm-hmm.
because as an educator and I'm teaching kids, like they don't care about what happened at home. They don't care about what happened before you got into into the classroom, right? They just want to be taught and they want their teacher. And so I think it just comes with like maturity
Mm.
and just having to not to do your best, because I'm not
Mm-hmm.
saying that it's an everyday thing, but to do your best to not allow what challenges you're facing
Mm-hmm.
um, to affect like what you do and like how you show up.
Mm-hmm.
Because I feel like things are going to constantly be happening in life, and we have to learn how to just kind of like manage our emotions, manage those things, and not saying to neglect what the challenges that you face, but I feel like that's where those balances kind of come in. It just to say, okay, I'm doing that. Let me show up for this. Let me come back to this later and deal with this later. Or there's the other side where it's like if you really, really, if whatever challenges I'm facing, I have had to do this. Take a mental health day, right? Take
Mm-hmm.
a day where you are just able to just quiet the outside noise and get into a place of solitude so that
Mm-hmm.
I actually can face whatever challenges I have and find some peace, right? Find
Yes.
some peace because even though there should be a balance between you not, me not allowing what I'm going through to affect how I show up, I do think that there is another piece to where if you continue to neglect whatever you're facing, it will show up in what you do too.
Most
And that's
definitely.
where you have to care for yourself. So,
Yes, most definitely. I 100% agree with that.
yes.
All right, so I have two more questions and then we'll
Okay.
wrap it up. So, how do you stay hopeful when the road seems unclear, kind of murky?
Mm. Yeah. How do I stay hopeful? Hmm.
If it's that third person, it's okay because I'm
Look,
saying consistency. Look, yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'll
no,
let you answer.
no, you're good. You're good. So I personally, I feel like it can staying hopeful can be a little hard sometimes,
Yeah.
depending on what it is,
Yeah.
right? Depending on what challenges that I'm facing. But I look back, what keeps me encouraged is I look back on the other things, other seasons in my life that I might have felt hopeful, and I
Mhm.
look at where I am now and say, wow, it worked out.
Yeah.
So to just know that, okay, yes, this too will pass for sure. Um, and just also know like, okay, it's a part of life. Let me learn from it. Let me grow from it,
Mhm.
as well. Let me accept whatever lessons I need to learn from this
Mhm.
as well, and just encourage myself. Let my outside community encourage me as well. And then, of course, like I'm a Bible girly, right? So I stand on God's promises.
Yes.
I
Yes.
stand on the Lord's promises too. So I'm like, Jesus, I'm feeling really weary right now. So I need to go back and remind myself of what His Word says. And His Word says that all things will work together for my good.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I have to stay encouraged, stand on the truth,
Yes.
have nothing else.
Yes. Yes, that is a word again.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, this one is just kind of about you. It's like a wrap-up question.
Yeah.
So, how can people stay in contact with you? What do you have work that you're working on that you want people to know about, and just anything that you want us to know or me to know.
Yes, absolutely. Well, so and y'all can follow me on social media.
Yeah.
Instagram, TikTok, it's just Asia Moore underscore AJAHMOORE underscore. You can follow my Miss Bluebonnet page as well, just to keep up with my Miss Texas journey. But as far as like what I'm up to right now, I mean, I have my organization, The Purposeful Girl, that's also my CSI as well.
Yes.
So it's a mentorship for not just for young girls, but for young boys, etc. Just teaching kids about self esteem and self love. And so we'll be having a workshop coming real soon in May. So just be looking out for that.
Okay.
Yes.
Period. Well, that's amazing. Well, thank y'all so much for watching, coming in, and just hearing us talk and chat. I always love doing these. And stay tuned for more episodes coming up. I do have some more interviews lined up. And thank you so much. Bye.